Hey, what's going on, guys? Flick here, and welcome back to another episode of the FIFA 17 Career Mode Road to Glory with VfB Stuttgart. As I tend to start off these episodes, I do want to thank you all for the support you've been leaving on this series. It's actually been incredible, and personally, I've been enjoying making these videos so much. You guys seem to be enjoying them as well, so it's a win-win situation, and I'll be trying my hardest to get more episodes out more often for you guys. But with that said, let's start talking about the matter at hand today. We'll be finishing up the summer transfer window, and in order to do so, we'll be playing two matches, the first of which being against Osnabrück, the second one being against FC St. Pauli. Along the way, I do plan on making a few more transfers. I did leave you guys with a couple of cliffhangers at the end of the last episode, and we'll address those soon enough. Along with that, we'll be having our first Goal of the Month and Player of the Month showcase for the month of August, so make sure you guys stick around to the end of the episode in order to get involved with that. In the previous video, I opened up a poll question asking you all what we should do about Toni Sunic. Should we let him finish up his loan at Palermo, or should we recall him and use him as a squad rotational center back? And by a slim margin, about 60% of you voted that we should recall him from loan, and I do intend on fulfilling that decision, but I want to add a couple of clauses. First off, it will be affecting the transfers that we make in this transfer window, because we already have so many defenders. I don't think it makes sense to add another one, so I will be putting a hold on signing any more defenders in this transfer window. And going off that point, because we have a surplus of center backs and right backs and not enough left backs, I will be requiring a few players to play out of position in order to provide more squad rotation. Second off, I will not be giving a lot of room for error for Toni Sunic. I've already seen some comments from the Stuttgart supporters hesitant about me recalling him from his loan because he didn't play too well while he was with Stuttgart, at least for the 2015-2016 season. But I do believe in giving players a second chance, and this is a new Stuttgart team, so I'm hoping that we can pull out a new Toni Sunic. But if he doesn't perform, there's a good chance he will be one of the first candidates to be sold in January. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves and address a few other action items that are pertinent to us right now. By a more overwhelming margin, you all voted that we should scout a future star and unlock that feature from the EA Sports catalog. So I went ahead and done so. We should be getting our future star back in about a month. It won't be occurring in this episode, but I hope that we have him by the start of next episode. If you're not familiar with what the Scout a Future Star feature is, basically we've sent a scout out and we'll be receiving a high potential youngster. Usually they're over 90 potential, but we have no control over what position he will be, and we don't have any idea of what his nationality will be. So I think it will give an interesting mix-up to this career mode. We've also heard back from Bayern in regards to the Fabian Benko loan deal, and they don't seem to have much interest in him joining our club, so we'll pretty much end negotiations there and look to sign a different center attacking mid. I've already dispersed our scouts through the global transfer network, so I'll be readdressing that matter in a few weeks. Our last bit of transfer news for the time being has to do with Boris Tashi, and Osnabrück have submitted a 700,000 counter offer. I will be accepting this deal. It is slightly below his market value, but I have no plans in involving Tashi in our starting 11 or substitutes, so it's basically free money for us. Before we get into the first match of the episode, I'd like to take a look at the league table, see how we're doing relative to the other clubs in the second Bundesliga, and also see how we match up against Osnabrück. And it looks like they won their first match, and no draws on the opening match day, which is very strange to see. But we're currently in the top three, tied with 1860 Munich on goal differential, so if we can get a big win, that could boost us to first place in the second Bundesliga. I have experimented slightly with our starting 11 going into this match. Of course, because we're off to such a strong start, I don't want to be changing too much, but what I've done is given Julian Green the nod to start at left mid. It is one of his secondary positions, and he is right-footed on the left side, so that will allow him to cut in, maybe get a finesse shot goal from outside the box, and pick up a goal of the month contender. With Osnabrück in the process of acquiring one of our strikers, it leads me to believe that their attack is not great, so the plan is to get a clean sheet and boost up our goal differential by a few additional goals. It's been a slow start to the first half, but we'll look to get something going here. Green switching the play to find Mane. And now we'll play this one inside. This is Gentner, who's pushing up from his CDM position, and I like to see that because he's already shown his ability to score goals, scoring our league opener in the previous episode, but we'll take this throw in quickly. It's Mane. We'll try to cross this one in on his left foot. This could be a goal, but a great save by the keeper. We've still got it, a Fori. Finding Gentner once again in the middle. This is going to be Julian Green going with the finesse shot from outside the box and testing the keeper. We need to see more of that. Great tackle by Toski. And now we'll look to answer quickly. Finding Maxime. He's got not too much support here, but now we've got Ofori playing through, and this needs to be a finish by Teroda. He's going to hit the crossbar. How many times are we going to do that this season? In the last episode, it was Coyote, and now it looks like the luck has run over on Teroda. Compared to our previous fixtures, it's been an uneventful first half, but we are dominating in the statistics, managing to secure 6 shots, 3 of which on target, 57% of the possession. But I think the way to break down this Osnabrück side will be with pace. So I'll be taking Teroda off at halftime and bringing on Coyote. Still looking to get his first goal with Stuttgart, and I think this is the match for him to do it. And here we go already. It's Coyote getting in behind the Osnabrück defense. Now looking for options in the middle. Gentner playing it off to Grosskreutz. This is Ofori from range. The long shot will be just wide of the target. I think that was a lot closer than it looked. We'll take a quick peek at the replay, and with that kind of space, Ofori will be hitting a long shot this season. Oh, look at Coyote. Absolutely dominating this defense, and that really should have been his first goal. I talked about it in the episode where we signed him. We need to be training up his finishing, and he shows his physical and technical ability to even set up that chance, but as a striker, you need to be finishing those kind of chances. Here's Insua, has plenty of options around him, and he will use Ofori in the middle. Now over to Gentner. We've got Mane. We're trying out some skill moves to set up a cross. Cutting it back inside. We've got our fullback. This is Grosskreutz. Over to Coyote. One more pass inside, and he gets blocked at the last second. I don't know if we're going to get a goal in this match because we're just one pass shy of setting up a clear chance. And Sua able to play this one out wide to Green. Some nice skill to get by a few defenders. But again, we're just trying to do too much. We need to be more simple. Coyote. Look at the presence he can provide. He just is a menace for all defenses, and I think he just won us a free kick. Before we do take that free kick, I want to use our final 2 substitutions. Maxime coming off and Özkan coming on. He's already proved that he can play above his 66 overall rating, and along with that, I'll be bringing Zimmer on for Mane. We already have so many fullbacks in the side, so I think Zimmer will be serving more of a right mid position role this year. I think our best chance would just be whipping this in the box, so Gentner floating it in the middle. Someone needs to rise up, and Hurtner able to clear it away, but we played outside. This is Baumgartel, the center back. We need to get someone else on the ball, and luckily we get a good bounce. Coyote getting set up with a chance. Playing the ball in the middle. This is Ofori on his left foot, and he'll put that one in the back of the net. A beautiful finish, and finally we get the breakthrough. I want to get a second goal before this match is over because Osnabrück have been a little bit more dangerous in this second half, and we fully deserve the 3 points. Nice pressure applied by Zimmer, but we can't get the ball off Osnabrück, and they'll get one final attack with 88 minutes played. It's Bertram to send in the cross, nicely done by Insua to clear it away temporarily, still with it though. It's Osnabrück. All they're trying is the crosses, and that's an easy save for Longrek. That should be pretty much full time. Some dominant statistic, Osnabrück didn't even manage to get a shot on target, but what I'm most interested in is the man of the match, and Ofori picking it up with a 9.0 rating. Some other notable performances, Coyote, instant impact he made with an 8.4. Few players off the bench with a 7.5 in Mane. Our defense was solid across the board, and pretty happy with this team performance. We need to be scoring more goals though. A few pieces of transfer news. We have confirmation that Boris Tashi will be joining Osnabrück on a permanent basis. We've had $475,000 added to our current transfer budget. I feel like they took quite a bit away from the deal itself, but we'll move on to the other transfer offer, and this is for another player that I have put on the transfer list in Marvin Vanacek. And he's a 63 rated, 23-year-old center attacking mid. He's already too high for us to put too much time into the player training, so I'll be looking to counter, and maybe we can pick up his market value of $475,000. I doubt it, but we might as well see what FC Thun have to say. Since the Fabian Benko deal did fall through, I've added some other center attacking mids to the short list in the hope that we'll pick one of them up before the summer transfer window does come to an end. And I'm happy that we have a number of options in case one of them do not work out, but my number one priority and my number one target will be Laszlo Benes. I think he has very well-rounded statistics, and if we take a closer look at his player information. He's 65 rated for an 18-year-old. He's 5'11", can play center attacking mid, center mid, or left mid. He's left-footed, medium work rates, 3-star weak foot, and 3-star skill moves. And that's pretty much all I'm looking for in a center attacking mid. It'd be nice if he had 4-star skills, but I can definitely get by with the 3-star skills. So we'll look to approach Mönchengladbach on a loan-to-buy basis at the end of the season. We'll put the loan length at 1 year, and the future fee, we'll just set it to his market value of 1 million and see what the club has to say. We've received word back from Mönchengladbach, and they're unsure that they want to sell Benej at the end of the loan deal. Typically what that means is that they want more money, which is fair enough. We started off at his market value, which is the low end of the deal. I'm willing to go as high as 2 million for him because honestly, let's say he joins us at the club. I'm going to develop training time into him, and I think by the end of the season, he'll easily be over 70 rated, which for a 19-year-old, that is well worth 1.5 or even 2 million. Some other transfer news coming in, and the counteroffer for Vanacek was not accepted, so we'll look to get a little bit more than 375,000. I want to get at least 400,000, and if that's the case, it is below his market value, but again, these kind of players will not be getting playtime for us, so we might as well get that extra cash. We'll see what this other transfer offer could be for, and it will be for Timo Baumgartel from Borussia Dortmund. They've already scouted him out, and they see his potential future worth. So we will be obviously rejecting this because I want him to be our future first-team center back, and I want to be one of Germany's best center backs by the end of this career mode. Good news for us as the counter offer for Vanacek was accepted, so hopefully that deal will be finalized within a few days. But bad news is that Mönchengladbach have once again decided not to accept our future fee attached. So we'll go as high as 2 million. And just in case that this deal is not going to happen, I'm going to start putting in other bids for the other players that were on our transfer shortlist. Before we get into our final fixture of the episode, I want to take another look at the league table, see how things have updated after the second round of fixtures. And we're currently in second place. Big match here against St. Pauli, who are in fourth, also with 6 points, so this is a must win. We have seen 2 changes to our starting 11 going into this fixture, the first of which being a change to the striker position. We've decided to go with Ginczek, who's now 1 overall rating higher than Terodde. I want to see how he plays, and if I feel like he plays better, then I'll probably go with him as our first team striker. And the other change being at the right back position. I mentioned that I want to give Klein plenty of play time, so we're going to do that in this crucial match. St. Pauli look to be going with a 4-1-4-1, an interesting choice in their formation, but I think our 4-2-3-1 will stack up well against that. Nice run by Werner. We'll play this in the middle. This is Ginczek. We've got Maxime. We'll try to scoot by the defender. He does well to set this up, and the deflection nearly leads to a goal. We will get the corner kick out of it, though, and I think this time we'll take it short. And look to send it in the box, Maxime. That's a nice cross, and it will be the goal by, who is that? It's got to be one of our defenders to push up that far, and I believe that's Gettner, in fact. The captain does it again. Here's Werner. Someone needs to show for him. We've got Maxime, and we've got a runner. Somehow Maxime has still got hold of possession. Gettner once again might have just forced a penalty kick, and indeed he did. Man, this is not a great start for a 4th place St. Pauli, and I think he might be getting a red card as well. Gettner has been the difference maker. Of course, we'll let the captain look to put this one away. I'm not the best at penalty kicks, but I think this will be on target. And it just barely goes in. The keeper gets a piece of it. But at the end of the day, it's 2-0 for VfB Stuttgart, and Gettner is aiming to be man of the match. We might be able to get one more goal if Maxime can make this run, and he has timed it so well. He'll go crossbody. And a decent effort by him. It was a difficult angle to shoot from, but we'll go into the halftime break with a comfortable 2-0 margin. Here's a look at the stats. 6 shots, 3 on target, 55% of the possession, and I think we're at a point where we can make a few substitutions, and the first of which that I do want to make is bringing on Toni Sunic. This will be his chance to show what he can do, and if he puts in a good 45 minutes, maybe I will start him more often. We'll bring him on for Baumgartel. Toni Sunic putting in a tackle. Well done. And we will get an attack going here with Maxime, the defender, trying to shrug him off. And we'll play it through to Werner. He needs to find a way to cut this one in, looking for Maxime. But instead, we'll play it back to Insua. This is Gettner. He's got 2 goals already. We're looking to get him his hat trick, but now it's Mané getting tripped inside the box. What is the St. Pauli defense doing? Well, this time around, the St. Pauli defender got away with the yellow card, so good for them. They're not down to 9 men, but look to get Gettner his hat trick. This time we'll try to put it off to the left. And that might be too much power. He puts it down the middle. Not even what I was trying to do. But Gettner, if he's going to find a way to score, we'll make it 3-0. And that's what we've done. On that note, I think it's safe to make 2 more changes. Maxime not the best on stamina, so we'll take him off. And as per usual, we'll bring Özkan on to get him some play time for the last 25 minutes or so. And Gettner, following that hat trick, I think we can give Hosegai a little bit of action for the remainder of this match. There's Langrecht making what I think might be his second save in this entire match. Some Pauli just haven't come to play today, and they are not performing like a top 4 side. But they'll try to score off this corner kick regardless. It's cleared away by Klein. And if we can make this 4-0, I'm going to look to do so because goal differential will make a difference in the second Bundesliga table. And Langrecht pulling off 2 big saves there. Oh, what a ball played through. Ginczek, you need to be finishing this one, and it just needs to be a finesse shot on his left foot, and it's 4-0 for VfB Stuttgart. I know we're on legendary difficulty, guys, and I want this game to be more of a challenge. I'm hoping within the next few weeks that will be the case. A 4-0 stopping of St. Pauli should put us top of the second Bundesliga. Looking at the player ratings, it's got to be Gettner winning man of the match. A 10.0, perfect rating. Ginczek also doing fairly well with a 9.3, and Maxime providing a 9.2. After putting in several bids for young center attacking mids, I narrowed it down to 3 teams and 3 players, only one of which the future fee was accepted, and that player being Emil Hansen. He's a 62 overall, 17-year-old player from Feyenoord, and he has some great physical stats. He can also play on the wing. I will say his finishing isn't great, but of course we can train that up through the player training. So Emil Hansen will be our final signing of the summer transfer window. Let's welcome him to the club. Emil Hansen is a 17-year-old center attacking mid that has shown signs of promise in his youth career. Playing for both the Swedish and Norwegian youth national teams, Hansen has consistently shown his ability to create attacking opportunities. While he officially transferred from SK Brann to Feyenoord in 2015, he has been trialing with the club for several years. As a young player, Hansen still has several years to fine-tune his skills. In order to develop him as a player that can play both centrally and on the wings, the top priority will be to work on his passing. With finishing stats in the red, he won't be someone who looks to shoot often on goal, but rather a player that can provide goal-scoring chances for others. Probably the final piece of transfer news coming in on transfer deadline day. Würzburg have approached us with a sizable bid for our third string keeper Uphoff, and I'll be accepting this straight away because that puts us over 4 million on our remaining transfer budget. Keep in mind that number might go down if we sign up another youth scout, but that will give us a lot of money to spend in future transfer windows to strengthen up this team. Alright, with 1 hour left on transfer deadline day, I want to take a look at the top deals, and Özil to Barcelona being the top one for 73.5 million, but the deal that might be most pertinent to us next season is Lacazette to Wolfsburg for 56.5 million. That will be very, very interesting because Wolfsburg always seem to sign some top striker. In my Southampton career mode, it was Icardi, and now they stepped up their game to Lacazette. I think that'll wrap things up for the live com portion of today's video. We still have the Player of the Month and Gold Month nominees coming up right after this, but I want to take a moment to sign off and thank you guys for watching today's episode. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new around here, and if you're interested, you can follow me on my social links. They are provided in the description down below. But let's get into the nominees for Player of the Month and Goal of the Month. Alright guys, welcome to the first Player of the Month vote for the month of August. How this is going to work is I'll review the stats for 3 players that I felt made the biggest impact of the team, and using the poll feature in the top right of your screen, you'll be selecting the winner. I'll be unveiling the final results in the next episode of the Stuttgart Career Mode. Your first nominee is the biggest transfer so far in this career mode, Serdar Taski. In the 3 second Bundesliga matches he's played, he's led the team to 3 clean sheets and an average match rating of 7.6. We've yet to see him provide an attacking presence, but with the confidence he's currently showcasing, I don't think that'll be the case for long. Your second nominee is your captain, Christian Gentner. Despite having the player instructions to stay back while attacking, the midfielder scored 4 goals in 3 second Bundesliga matches, including a hat trick on match day 3. Your final nominee is a player who made an impact in every game he started, that player of course being Daniel Ginczek. Our second choice striker bagged 1 goal in both the Deutsche Pokal and the second Bundesliga. Regardless of the outcome of this poll, I do plan on featuring him in more of the matches going forward. If you haven't yet voted for what player you want to see earn our August Player of the Month, make sure you do so now because it's time to transition to the goals. We saw a few close matches and several late winners in August, but for me, these goals stood above the rest. Your first goal of the month contender came in our first competitive match of the season in the Deutsche Pokal, with the match tied 1-1 as we near the end of regulation time. We'll witness some beautiful build-up play in the midfield, finished off with a cool cross-body finish by Ginczek to give us the late winner. This goal saw us through to the next round of the Pokal and the successful completion of one of our board objectives. Next up, we do have a goal by Afori, and it was a frustrating affair on match day 2 against Osnabrück. Plenty of chances were falling to us, but on multiple occasions we were trying to do too much with the ball. It took a deflection from a set piece to allow us to work the ball outside the 18 and eventually give Afori the chance to catch the keeper off guard with a well-placed finish. That was the only goal scored in the match, and it allowed us to keep our perfect record in the league alive. Finally, we have a pretty standard goal, but the context behind this goal is much more meaningful. This penalty kick conversion sealed Gentner's hat trick as we went 3-0 up against the 10-man St. Pauli squad. Ginczek would finish off the match with an additional goal to give us the 4-0 victory. And with that, guys, that will be it for today's episode. I'll be unveiling the results of the polls at the start of the next episode, along with a few answers to your press conference questions, so make sure you interact with the polls and also leave a question in the comment section down below. But until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to you guys again soon.